I awakened the worst ability imaginable. Rank F, Water Spark. All it could do was moisten someone's lips. My classmates laughed. They called me dead weight, so when combat comes they shove me forward without a second thought. Bait, that's my role. But the next second, the bait starts tearing through everything, because I have the Ascension System. It takes the most useless ability in existence and ascends it into a triple S plus ability, Wrath of the Sea God. A gust of wind carries the stench of rust into the abandoned steel mill. A hand slams hard into my back. I stumble forward, 2 steps, gravel skittering under my feet. I steady myself, brush off my worn school uniform sleeve, and look up at the dark gaping mouth of the factory ahead. From inside the darkness, a chorus of low growls, at least a dozen beasts lurking in the shadows. Dead weight abilities belong on bait duty. Rex's lazy drawl floats from behind me. The young heir of the Jin family in Jianzhou twirls his crimson staff like a toy, firelight dancing between the prongs and lighting up the sneer at the corner of his mouth. Everyone get in position. Keep your eyes open. This is what happens to the weak. Dozens of assessment students stand well behind the safety perimeter, watching. Some with pity, some with relief. Relief that the one being pushed out there isn't them. Poor guy. Rank F Water Spark. An ability that basically just spits. Dead weight. Heard he ranked dead last at the awakening ceremony. Got thrown into the Fodder Unit. That unit exists for one reason. Cannon fodder. Getting selected for it just means bad luck. The whispers crawl into my ears from every direction. I ignore all of it. I reach into my pocket and pull out a rusted coin, its edges worn smooth from years of handling. I toss it up, catch it, toss it again. My eyes aren't on the dark factory entrance. They're on the pale blue translucent panel floating in front of me. Ascension System. Status. Activating. Current progress. 99%. It's been a full month. From the moment I was ranked rank F at the awakening ceremony, this panel has been sitting in the upper right corner of my vision. Every time someone mocks me, tramples me, the progress bar jumps forward one small notch. A month of cold stares and humiliation has grinded out 99%. Just a little more. My lips curl slightly. You're absolutely right, Rex. The Galewind Wolf pack in there. That's your moment to shine. Rex narrows his eyes. He can't read my expression. A throwaway being shoved into a wolf's den. Someone like that shouldn't look like this. Too calm. Calm enough to make his skin crawl. But the unease lasts barely half a second before his arrogance drowns it out completely. Just a rank F. Someone who can barely squeeze out a few drops of water. No matter how calm he acts, it won't change the fact that he's about to get crushed. Stop wasting time. Get in there. Extreme contempt detected from Rex. Shock points plus 10. The number on the panel ticks up, but the 99% figure doesn't budge. I frown slightly. 10 points added, and the bar doesn't react at all. I scan the small gray text at the bottom of the panel. Total shock points required for activation 10,000. Current total 9,910. Still 90 points short. So it wasn't just a little, it was 90 points. The bar showed 99% because of rounding. Adding the 10% I just earned brings it to 9,910. Still need 90 more to hit the cap. Based on the past month, ordinary contempt only gives 1 to 5 points. The extreme contempt of someone like Rex, a rich heir, gave 10, 90 points left. Just absorbing insults, I'd need to take over 10 more hits. But what if I do something that leaves people truly stunned? I toss the coin in my hand. My gaze drifts to the dozens of amber wolf eyes glowing deep inside the factory. A slow, knowing smile pulls at my lips. Well then, what are you waiting for? One of Rex's lackeys shoves me again, harder this time. I stop resisting. I let the momentum carry me forward, stepping into the factory. My footsteps echo cold and hollow through the empty ruin. Through the gaps in the broken ceiling above, pale dead light bleeds through, falling across a floor laced with rusted iron rails. The air is thick with something rotten. Growls press in from every direction. Over 10 pairs of green wolf eyes ignite in the dark. A single tier 1 Galewind Wolf isn't much of a threat, but a coordinated pack, even a tier 2 Awakener caught alone would come out bleeding. Rex leads his crew up along the side to higher ground, slams his staff into the floor, and a column of blaze roars up, lighting the crumbling walls. Got them all. Rex smiles, satisfied. He glances at me, locked on by the entire pack. Don't panic, stand right there, don't move, be a good little bait. Leave the rest to me. Much appreciated, Rex. I lean back against the cold iron wall, voice completely sincere. The first Galewind Wolf moves. A gray blur accelerates instantly, wrapped in a pale green windblade, aimed straight for my throat. The speed is terrifying. I don't run. I don't raise a hand. I simply tilt my head slightly and look past the lunging wolf toward a shadowed corner in the distance. There's a presence there, carefully hidden, barely a flicker. Not a beast, a person, and a strong one. I pull my attention back. The wolf's claws are 10 centimeters from my throat. My right index finger lifts, just slightly. At my fingertip, a tiny crystal bead of water forms. Insignificant. Rank F. It fires without a sound, fast as a bolt of lightning, striking the tear duct of the wolf's right eye with perfect precision. The wolf's head snaps to the side. A burst of involuntary blinding pain, and its skull crashes into the iron wall behind me with a dull thud. Out cold. On the spot. The whole thing takes under a second. In the shadows, that hidden presence suddenly pulses. My hearing is sharp. I don't turn around. The faintest curve touches the corner of my mouth. The numbers on the panel tick quietly. Ding. Mild surprise detected from unknown observer. Shock points +5. Current total, 9,915. 85 short of 10,000. Not enough. Not even close. But that's fine. I glance across at Rex, happily burning things down. The real show hasn't started yet. By now, Rex has already taken out the third Galewind Wolf. He looks back at me, still standing quietly against the wall, and something dark flickers in his eyes. He drops his voice and murmurs something to the lackey beside him. The lackey nods. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out a small sealed vial. A skull etched into the glass. Beast lure powder, designed to draw in high-tier beasts. Illegal contraband. Rex licks his lips, eyes locked on me. This was never just about using me as a decoy. What he really wants is the coin. The rusted coin left behind by my parents. The Jin family's intelligence network had already confirmed it. There's a deeply unusual energy signature sealed inside that coin. Why should a rank F piece of dead weight get to keep something like that? Better to just make him disappear from this world entirely. Rex shoots his lackey a look. The lackey moves without a sound, circling behind me. I stay leaning against the iron wall, tossing the coin without a care. It spins in the air, tracing a smooth arc, its rusted surface catching the firelight and flickering, just for an instant, with a faint blue glow that has nothing to do with rust. Gone in a heartbeat. Nobody notices. The last Galewind Wolf is swallowed by flame. Rex makes a show of putting his staff away, and the crowd rushes over. Rex, you were incredible. Rank ablaze. That's real power. That's what a true genius looks like, not like some people. The comment is aimed at me, eyes cutting toward me with a smirk. I'm crouched beside the unconscious Galewind Wolf, poking at its ear with genuine curiosity. Rex switches on a look of concern and strolls over. Ash, that must have been terrifying. The wolf lunged at you so fast. I couldn't get there in time. You're not hurt, are you? I'm fine, Rex. I stand up, brushing off my knees. The wolf ran too fast, hit the wall, knocked itself out. Bad eyesight, probably. Couldn't stop in time, knocked itself out. Rex doesn't respond. He doesn't care. One tier 1 Galewind Wolf. Even if I got lucky, what does it matter? The real move is still coming. Rex drops his voice and gives the order. 5-minute rest. Then we push into the core zone. While he talks, one of his lackeys has already slipped behind me, fingers pinching the ceramic stopper, twisting it open without a sound. A cloud of colorless, odorless powder drifts silently down, sticking precisely to the inside of my collar. Beast lure powder. Colorless, odorless. But I catch a trace anyway. A faint, sickly sweet smell. Old energy mixed with mineral residue. I catch the lackey's hand pulling back in my peripheral vision. Then I catch Rex's face. Fake concern plastered on every feature. Crystal clear. The panel floats quietly with the current number. Ordinary contempt barely moves it anymore. But what if what comes next is dramatic enough? I say nothing. I don't expose him. I simply follow the group toward the core zone, wearing just the right amount of nervous fear on my face. 30 meters away, Nova crouches on a steel beam, her black tactical coat shifting slightly in the wind. She is the military's covert assessment observer. The moment I flicked the water bead into the wolf's eye and blinded it, she saw every bit of it. Interesting. Nova files the observation away. But that's all it is for now. What she's really watching is Rex. The beast lure powder. She caught the scent. Military contraband appearing in a student assessment. That alone is enough to bury the Jin family. But she doesn't move to stop it. Not yet. She wants to see how far Rex is willing to go. And she wants to see what I do when I'm cornered. Will I break down and beg? Or will I do something he never saw coming? The core zone opens up deep inside the factory. Across the ground, massive claw marks. Nothing a wolf could make. Each gouge is over half a meter wide, and the steel plates at the edges have been peeled back and curled outward like tin foil. The lackeys have gone pale. Rex, these marks, only a tier 2 or higher beast could leave something like this, right? So what? A few stray tier 2 scraps at most. I can handle them alone. Even as he says it, his gaze deliberately sweeps across the back of my collar. The beast lure powder takes 15 minutes to activate. Soon my scent will work like a signal flare, drawing every beast within a 3-mile radius straight to me. And in the chaos, losing one rank F piece of dead weight? Who's going to care? Rex is counting down in his head, smile growing more relaxed. What he doesn't know is that my own calculations are sharper than his. 7 minutes in. No tier 2 beast has shown itself. 2 explanations. 1. There genuinely are no tier 2 beasts in this area. 2. There's a higher tier apex predator here, and no tier 2 beast dares set foot in its territory. I look at the half-meter gouges in the ground. Then I look up at the irregular holes punched through the ceiling above, not the shape of natural collapse. Something came through that roof from the outside, broke in, and has been living here ever since. My heart rate holds steady at 62 beats per minute. The ground begins to vibrate, barely perceptible. The frequency so low it's almost nothing, like a massive heart buried underground. Pulsing. The lackeys haven't noticed yet. Rex is still laughing with someone, but I already feel it. The tremor isn't coming from a distance. It's directly beneath my feet. I look down, into the dark gap between 2 iron rails. 2 points of deep red light ignite in the darkness. Like 2 iron balls burned to a smoldering red. Those are eyes. I look up. flat, even tone. Rex, I think you used a bit too much powder. Rex's face drains of color. The steel floor detonates. A massive rupture tears open at the center of the ground. Shards of rock and rail fragments are hurled into the air. A gray titan the size of a small truck erupts from the crack in the earth. An ironhide rhino, then another, then another. Within 5 seconds, 12 ironhide rhinos have broken through the floor, all of them locked onto me, or more precisely, onto the beast lure powder scent coming from my collar. The lackeys lose it completely, scrambling backward in a panic. Rex's face, lit by the firelight, has gone paper white. He had expected 3, maybe 5 tier 2 beasts at most. Take advantage of the chaos, get rid of me. But 12, this isn't chaos to exploit, this is a death trap with no exit. Everyone fall back! Rex roars, slamming his staff into the ground. A wall of fire erupts, temporarily cutting off the ironhide rhino's charge. Move! He spins and runs, glances back after a few steps. Hold on! Rex and his crew disappear into the corridor. My face shows nothing. I don't run. What I need are shock points. What I need is a performance, explosive enough to matter. My audience is 30 meters away on that steel beam. That hidden presence is still there. And with the ironhide rhinos now on the floor, the frequency of that presence is accelerating. Whoever it is, they're tensing up, hesitating on whether to intervene. That's enough. I flex my fingers. My eyes sweep the terrain at speed. Rusted rails, fallen support columns, a half-collapsed ceiling. The rail surfaces are coated in years of old rust, almost zero friction. The support columns were already rattled by the ironhide rhinos breaking through the ground, barely holding. The ceiling holes are positioned just to the left of the herd's path. Debris could fall at any moment. Rank F water spark specs. Maximum water output approximately 200 milliliters. 12 ironhide rhinos head on. It wouldn't even tickle them. But I was never planning to fight head on. The firewall collapses. All 12 ironhide rhinos charge at once, iron hooves shattering the ground as they bear down on me. My eyes open. I don't step back. I step right, precisely onto a fallen steel frame beam. Then I run. Not away. Along the steel frame toward the rail section on the herd's flank. Every step is calculated to the millimeter. At the same time, water beads seep from my fingertips. My entire ability reserve pours out at once, not as projectiles, as a coating. The beads spread into a thin film of water, laid precisely across 3 sections of rail directly in the herd's path, almost invisible, barely a sheen on the surface. But it's enough. The first ironhide rhino's iron hoof hits the water-coated rail, already rusted smooth. With the water film applied, the friction drops to near zero. 3 tons of ironhide rhino at full charge suddenly loses all grip. Its body lurches sideways. Its own momentum turns it into a runaway cannonball, straight into the nearest trembling support column. The column snaps from the base. The ceiling beam it connects to collapses with it. Tons of steel crash down from above. The second and third ironhide rhinos charging behind the first. Chain reaction. The fourth hits the second water section. The fifth and sixth follow. They slam into each other, tangled and crashing. The remaining rhinos are blocked by the mass of their own herd. The sound of armored shells colliding thunders through the factory. A tier 2 ironhide rhino formation, 12 strong, dismantled by 200 milliliters of water. On the steel beam in the shadows, Nova has risen to her full height. The hand gripping her blade handle has gone white at the knuckles. Her lips part slightly. Her pupils have contracted to their limit. I did this with a rank F water spark. This isn't fighting. This is battlefield control on a sweeping scale. The emotion that surges through her in that moment isn't mild surprise. It's massive, unstoppable shock. The numbers on the panel go wild. Extreme shock detected from unknown observer. Shock points plus 80. Current total, 9,995. 5 points from 10 gown. My gaze turns. It meets Rex's eyes. Rex, where's your backup? I smile. Rex's lips are shaking. His mind refuses to process what he's seeing. How did you? The words don't finish. The ground shakes again. This time, it's not from a distance. The source is directly below, or beneath the pile of tangled ironhide rhino wreckage. Deeper still, a suffocating wave of crimson malice energy erupts from the cracks in the floor. The last intact section of ceiling is shattered from the inside by a massive red hand. Debris rains down like a storm through the smoke. A colossal black shape drops through the hole in the ceiling. It hits the floor, and the impact sends everyone staggering. 5 meters tall, its entire body wrapped in dark red, rough-textured hide. Crimson eyes, no pupils, nothing but pure, undiluted malice. Tier 3 Apex Lord Beast, the Blood Rage Ape. Rex's staff slides out of his hand. He doesn't have the strength to even bend down and pick it up. The Blood Rage Ape looks down. Its crimson eyes sweep the room. Then it reaches out and closes its hand around the nearest lackey. No time to scream. The fingers close. A burst of golden mist. Rex finally finds his voice. A shapeless, broken scream. I stand 15 meters away, heart rate still 62 beats per minute. The coin spins between my fingers. A faint blue light flickers past. The ape's gaze locks onto me. It doesn't give anyone time to react. It seizes the second lackey and slams him into the rails. 2 rails snap. His body goes limp. The remaining 2 lackeys finally break, sprinting away. The Blood Rage Ape tilts its head. It picks the left one. One stride covers 15 meters. The massive hand comes down. The ground caves in 2 meters deep. It turns. Those crimson eyes fix on Rex. Rex's teeth are chattering. The flame between his staff shards flickers harder than his hands. He knows running is useless. Rex lets out a shout, staff raised high overhead, every ounce of energy in his body surging into it. A column 2 meters wide of raging blaze hits the blood rage ape directly in the chest. The smoke clears. The ape stands exactly where it was. The dark red hide on its chest hasn't even darkened. It looks down at its own chest. Then it looks back up at Rex. Its expression says, "That's it?" Rex's pupils shrink violently. The ape raises one foot and brings it down. The staff shatters. Rex's right hand, still gripping the staff, is driven into the ground with it. Rex screams and collapses, body convulsing. Something warm spreads down his leg. At that exact moment, a streak of ice blue light blasts from the steel beam 30 meters away. Nova drops from her hiding spot, black coat fanning out in the air. Both hands grip a vibroblade. She drives them down at full force into the spine of the blood rage ape's back. Rank S ability, Arctic Shatter. The moment the blades touch skin, a layer of frost crystallizes across the ape's back. Then it stops. Nova feels a brutal recoil surge through her arms. Searing pain explodes in her palms. Her body is launched backward, spine slamming into a smelter wreck 30 meters away. She slides out of the crater, drops to both knees, both blades jammed into the ground as the only thing keeping her upright. Blood streams from the corner of her mouth. A rank S military elite, taken down in one exchange. Despair floods every chest in the room like molten iron. The blood rage ape turns back toward its original target. I'm still standing 15 meters away, back against the iron wall, the coin turning between my fingers. Heart rate, 62. The panel glows quietly. Current shock points, 9,995. 5 points from 10,000. I lift my head. My gaze crosses the blood rage ape and lands on Nova, kneeling in the distance. In her ice blue eyes is an emotion I know very well. Not fear, defiance. The pure, crushing despair of someone who has given everything and changed nothing. The blood rage ape takes its first step toward me. I pocket the coin, brush the dust off my uniform. Don't rush. My voice isn't loud, but it cuts through every echo and cry in the room with unusual clarity. Then I step away from the wall. I walk toward the blood rage ape. Nova's pupils blow wide. A rank F, walking forward to meet a tier 3 apex lord. In that moment, all her training, all her instincts, all her battlefield experience, none of it can explain what she's seeing. Her heart stops for one beat, then slams back into a violent rhythm. The last number on the panel ticks. Extreme despair detected from Nova. Shock points plus 50. Current total, 10,045. Activation conditions met. Ascension System officially activating. The pale blue panel explodes into a blaze of golden light right in front of my eyes. The second that golden light bursts from the panel, my entire field of vision is swallowed. Ascension System officially activated. Player's current ability, rank F Water Spark. Available ascensions. 1. Consume 1,000 shock points to ascend rank F Water Spark. The moment the thought lands, the gray text reading rank F Water Spark on the panel begins to shake violently. The old text shatters. Ascension successful. Congratulations, player. You have obtained the one-of-a-kind SSS plus ability, Wrath of the Sea God. Ability description, command the source of all waters. Wield the authority of the sea god. Water is the first element of creation. It attacks, it defends, it transforms all things. No range limit, no power ceiling. Remaining shock points, 9,045. The golden light fades, reality comes back, and you can see it clearly, the change in my eyes. The black of my pupils, starting from the very center, is being consumed by a deep, rich blue, the color of the sea. I speak, voice quiet. That's not how you use water. I snap my fingers. Right index finger meets middle finger. A small, sharp crack of sound. Then the whole world goes quiet, physically quiet. Within 100 meters, every sound vanishes at the exact same moment. What replaces sound is moisture. Every drop of water left in the abandoned steel mill, trapped in rust pores, in the cracks of the floor, every water molecule drifting free in the air, receives the signal at the exact same instant. They move, converging from every direction. The ground beneath my feet begins radiating outward in ring after ring of blue lines, like ripples on water, like some ancient formation diagram. The blood rage ape's massive hand is still 2 meters above my head when it slams down with full force. The instant the shockwave hits, a water blue pillar 10 meters wide erupts from the pattern at my feet into the sky. No warning, no wind-up. Inside the pillar, high-speed spiraling seawater. The blood rage ape's hand hits the pillar and stops. Not a gradual stop, a dead stop, from full speed to zero. The high-speed current carves a shallow cut across the ape's palm. Golden liquid seeps out. For the first time, something like confusion appears in the blood rage ape's crimson eyes. This tiny human, barely bigger than an ant, just cut it with water. The ape swings to smash the pillar apart. The pillar scatters, and in less than a fraction of a second, it reforms. Liquid has no fixed form. Scattering it means nothing. It just comes back together. Done hitting? My voice carries out from the center of the pillar. My turn. I raise my right hand. 5 fingers spread slightly. Above the ceiling holes, the sky changes color. The gray-white sky is swallowed in 3 seconds by a layer of deep blue storm clouds. The clouds begin to spin, accelerating, forming a massive vortex. What pours through the ceiling holes now isn't pale dead light, it's water. A wall of water descends from the sky, splitting and reshaping in midair, forming into a gigantic hand. A hand made of water. It descends from above, precise, unstoppable. It closes around the Blood Rage ape's neck. The 5-meter-tall ape is seized by the hand of the tide and held in place. It struggles. Both arms tear frantically at the water hand. Every time, a gap tears open, but in less than a tenth of a second, fresh water flows in to fill it. Water has no weakness, because water has no form. You cannot shatter what has no shape. My blue eyes watch the trapped ape. The panel numbers keep climbing. Unknown lackey's complete mental breakdown. Shock points plus 80. Ding. Remote observation devices detected. Collective extreme shock from multiple observers. Shock points plus 500. Current shock points, 9,975. The numbers keep jumping. The ape's struggle is weakening, not because it's giving up, because the hand of the tide is steadily tightening its grip, but it hasn't lost its life force yet. A Tier 3 Apex Lord's vitality is far beyond anything I've dealt with before. This will take a moment. The ape hasn't stopped fighting. It opens its jaws and fires a streak of crimson force, a malice shockwave. The blast hits the hand of the tide head-on, blowing a 3-meter hole through the water. The hole lasts less than 0.2 of a second. The surrounding water rushes in and seals it. I tilt my head. I notice something. The moment the ape fires the malice shockwave, the dark red hide on its neck shifts from deep red to pale red. It's burning its own core energy to fight. Enough. The easygoing look leaves my face. Dragging this out serves no purpose. Every second longer means Nova's injuries get worse. 2 words: dissolve. The hand of the tide responds to the command. Not tightening, not crushing, splitting. The hand dissolves in 1 second into tens of thousands of thin streams, each one no thicker than a finger, but spinning too fast for the eye to track. Pressure streams. Over 10,000 lines, cutting from every angle simultaneously, carving through the Blood Rage ape's dark red hide. The same armor that a rank S Arctic shatter could only leave white marks on. The first pass cuts 3 millimeters deep. The second, 7 millimeters. The third, into muscle. The Blood Rage ape lets out a scream, a real one. It fights with everything it has. But water streams aren't solid. No fist can destroy them. A punch passes through. The streams part for the moment of impact, then close again immediately after. They keep cutting. The Blood Rage ape's right arm detaches at the shoulder, not severed, dissolved by 10,000 simultaneous streams. Surgical precision. The ape screams change pitch. What's left is only the terror of its own ending. 5 seconds. The pressure streams complete their final pass. I release my right hand. The instant my 5 fingers close, every stream retracts at once. Then, a sky full of golden rain. The Tier 3 Apex Lord Blood Rage ape dissolves into countless points of light. The golden rain automatically curves away 10 centimeters from my body, bending around me, falling to the ground behind me. My school uniform is immaculate, blindingly so. The core zone goes silent, true silence. A dark red crystal the size of a fist falls from the air and lands on the ground in front of me. I crouch and pick up the Lord core. I put it in my pocket next to the rusted coin. Then I stand up. I turn and look at Rex. He's collapsed on the ground, staff shard still buried in the muscle of his right hand. His eyes are open, pupils shrunk to pinpoints. I walk over, no dust on my uniform, no sweat on my face. I crouch down and meet Rex's eyes at his level. Rex! His teeth knock together harder. The beast lure powder. Nice touch. Next time, remember to bring an antidote for yourself, in case you can't run fast enough. Rex's mouth moves. This can't be real. There's no way, Waterspark. How is this possible? He raises his uninjured left hand and slaps himself hard across the face. The sharp crack echoes through the empty space. Not a dream. I look at him for 2 seconds. I stand up. Stop hitting yourself, your face will swell. And that's it. I don't look at Rex again. I turn and walk toward Nova. The panel's shock points are still ticking. Complete cognitive collapse detected from Rex. Shock points plus 300. Nova is still down on one knee, both vibroblades jammed into the ground, the only thing holding her up. Her breathing is short and sharp, but her eyes are alive. Those ice blue eyes watch the person walking toward her carrying too much inside them. Shock, questions, scrutiny. Your ability isn't rank F. Her voice comes out rough. I stop 3 steps from her. 10 minutes ago it was. Nova goes quiet for a moment. She has 100 questions, but her training tells her now is not the time. How long can you sustain that ability? She asks. The most important question. My ability reserve in that last fight. About 30% used. Enough. Nova gives a small nod. Then she makes a call. She reaches inside her coat and pulls out a compact communicator. She presses the red button. Calling emergency channel, this is Nova, identification Sierra 017. Her voice snaps back into soldier mode. Rank S or above critical incident at the Jianzhou Eastern Abandoned Steel Mill Assessment Zone. Tier 3 Apex Lord Blood Rage Ape has been neutralized. I am injured. Students injured on site. 3 seconds of silence on the other end. Then a middle-aged man's voice, barely contained. A Tier 3 Apex Lord, neutralized. Nova, confirm. Did you take it down? Nova looks at me. I'm crouched on the ground, pulling the rusted coin out of my pocket, flipping it between my fingers. The core zone. Golden light everywhere. Total wreckage. And I'm crouched in the middle of all of it. Clean. looking bored. Not me, Nova says. Then who? The one who took it down is a student in the combat assessment. Nova cuts him off, completely flat. Registered ability rank at awakening, rank F. The line goes silent for 5 seconds. Then, the clean, sharp sound of something breaking. A teacup. Jiangzhou Eastern Military Command, Underground Level 3 Surveillance Center. 24 high-definition screens line the walls. Screen 7 covers the abandoned steel mill. 11 people are gathered in front of it right now, including the command's highest officer, General Stone, 62 years old. Lean frame, gray service uniform. Half a minute ago, his left hand was holding a teacup. Now the shards are on the floor. Every pair of eyes is fixed on screen 7. The footage has been pulled up on replay, starting from the moment the blood rage ape appears, to the hand of the tide materializing from nowhere, the pressure stream assault, the golden light explosion. Every frame played back at reduced speed 3 times. The energy detection readout on the right side of the screen, the moment the blood rage ape is destroyed, turns into a wall of red alerts. Ray, the technical team lead, sounds almost unsteady. The readings are off the charts. We're using our Type 7 energy detector. Its maximum range corresponds to rank SS. Today it didn't max out. It overflowed. The peak exceeds the rank SS ceiling by at least 40%. In the surveillance center speaks. General Stone stares at the figure in the school uniform on the screen. The replay is frozen on the moment the fight ends. You, crouched in the center of the golden wreckage, flipping a coin. Pull his file. General Stone speaks. 30 seconds later, your academic record is projected on the main screen. Name, Ash. Age 17. Awakening rank, rank F. Ability, water spark. Notes, none. Suspiciously clean. General Stone's gaze moves off the file and back to the replay. The frame of the hand of the tide descending from the sky. Honestly, it has the look of an ancient mural. Above SS, Ray confirms his own numbers again. General, to my knowledge, the entire Huaxia Federation currently has only 3 registered rank SS awakeners. Above rank SS, there's a term in the theoretical literature, mythic rank, but that concept has spent the last 20 years sitting in papers. Now it doesn't. General Stone bends down and picks up a shard of the broken teacup. Ray, encrypt this footage to the highest classification. Everyone present, from this second forward, everything you've seen today is level 1 classified. Disclose it to any unauthorized personnel, and you face military tribunal. 10 voices respond in unison. General Stone straightens up. Communications, connect me to Nova's channel. Nova, General, where is the student? Right next to me. A brief pause. He's flipping the ironhide rhinos back over. General Stone blinks. The ironhide rhinos that he rolled onto their backs with the water, they ended up stacked in a pile. A few of them are stuck on their backs and can't right themselves. He's helping them flip over. There's something faintly off about Nova's tone. Not mockery. Closer to a kind of absurdity she can't quite process. General Stone doesn't ask further about the ironhide rhinos. Nova, how are your injuries? 3 ribs. Severe damage, left lung contusion, backup and medical are already moving, 6 minutes out. Listen carefully. Before support arrives, do not make any threatening moves toward that student. No interrogation, no restricting his movement. Understood? One more thing. Rex's use of beast lure powder during the assessment. Did you see it? All of it. Good. Preserve the evidence. Communication ends. General Stone stands in the center of the surveillance center, fixed on the frozen figure on screen 7. The aide beside him ventures, General, what do we do with this student? The word do with makes General Stone's brow crease. Do what? He fires back. A 17-year-old kid gets assigned to the Fodder Unit, used as cannon fodder, has beast lure powder put on his uniform by his own classmates, with a plan to use the chaos to have him killed, and in the middle of all that he unleashes a hidden ability. And you're talking to me about a security risk assessment? Aide, close your mouth. General Stone walks to the communications panel and picks up the handset himself. He pauses. Get me Jiangzhou City Awakener Registry Bureau, then the Federation Military Branch. And last, connect me to the principal of 3rd Awakening Academy, the one who assigned a student to the bait unit. His tone is mild, but the temperature in the surveillance center drops another 2 degrees. Back in the core zone of the abandoned steel mill, you are in fact helping the ironhide rhinos right themselves. 12 tier 2 ironhide rhinos are in front of you, so docile that Nova thinks she's hallucinating. You use a stream of water to gently roll the top one by the waist, flipping it over softly. It lands on all 4 hooves. The rhino shakes itself, then lowers its head and nuzzles your hand. Stop nuzzling. You drool more than my water spark ever produced. The rhino nuzzles again. You push its head aside. The wind in the core zone stills for a few seconds, then picks back up, scattering the last traces of energy in every direction. I roll the Lord core between my fingers twice, then drop it back in my pocket. My gaze moves across the wreckage. The surviving one, Finn, is curled up behind the smelter remnants, shaking like a live wire. Then there's Rex, slumped against a snapped column, mind shattered to about 70%, but alive. I walk over, unhurried. Each step grinds gravel under my shoe with a small, crisp sound that carries far through the empty factory floor. 2 meters, 1.5. I crouch. At this distance, the smell of urine and sweat hits me like a wall. I frown. Rex's teeth start knocking together. I ask. You answer. Answer well, and we're done. Those 2 words, we're done, slam into his fractured mind. His survival instinct catches them first. Yes, anything you ask. The beast lure powder, whose idea? My uncle. Rex doesn't hesitate for even a second. Mr. Vale, Jin family, second branch. He told me to use the assessment to take care of you. Why? Your coin. Rex's eyes dart to my pocket, then back, fast, like touching something hot. Uncle said the coin contains an energy signature he's never seen before, worth more than the full output of a Ranka dungeon. My thumb traces the rusted surface inside my pocket. A Ranka dungeon starts at 15 billion. No wonder he couldn't sit still. Anyone else know? Just my uncle and me. He said not to tell the head of the family, definitely not the elders, or they'd tear him apart. Everything I needed. Rex stares at my face, desperately searching for the answer he wants. I'm satisfied, you can relax. He finds a signal, or thinks he does. The corner of my mouth moves slightly. The curve looks almost gentle. I told you everything, let me go. I'll help you go against my uncle. I can get you Jin family resources too. He raises his right hand, the uninjured one, 5 fingers open. My hand comes to rest on top of his head, light as a leaf. I'll remember everything you said. My voice is softer than my hand. Useful. Next time. Rex is thrown off by those 2 words, but the words he was about to say never make it out. The pad of my right index finger presses against the skin behind Rex's ear, one of the thinnest points on the skull. A single water stream forms, diameter 0.08 millimeters, narrower than the thinnest human hair. The stream enters and strikes the critical point. Rex's pupils freeze at their last confused focal point. His mouth stays half open. His body doesn't fall. The column and rail prop him up in a posture indistinguishable from life. The whole thing takes under half a second. I pull my hand back. A flick of the thumb. The water bead falls into a crack in the gravel. Then, cleanup. I bend down and pick up a dark red energy fragment about the size of a knuckle. I press it into the wound above Rex's right temple. That wound came from debris launched when the Blood Rage ape broke through the floor. The fragment sits at an angle, 20 degrees, high on the outside, low on the inside, consistent with the ballistic profile of high-speed debris launched by an explosion shockwave. Cause of death, clear. Trajectory, sound. Physical evidence, sufficient. Clean work. I walk around to where Finn has made himself into a human ball, hands over his head, every muscle in spasm. Hey! Finn's whole body jolts. One bloodshot eye appears between his arms. Don't! I crouch down. When support arrives and they question you, tell the truth. The assessment ran into a tier 3 beast. Officer Nova and your group held it off together. I hid in a corner and did nothing. Finn turns each word over in his mind twice. As for Rex, I tip my chin in the direction of the rails. He took an energy fragment to the head during combat. You saw it with your own eyes. Finn stares at me for 3 seconds, then nods, fast enough to strain his neck. Don't overdo it. Stand up. In your current state, talking in broken fragments is completely believable. Overact, and you'll blow it. Extreme fear and submission detected from Finn. Shock points plus 35. Every little bit counts. I glance back toward Nova. She's leaning against the smelter rack. I walk over, dig through the nearby collapsed equipment, and find a relatively clean steel plate. I set it up as a simple surface. Then I pull a handful of water directly from the air, filtering out every impurity. Pure water. I hold it out to Nova. Drink. Nova looks at the water sphere floating just above my palm. A brief pause. She lowers her head and takes a sip. The moment it goes down, a wave of cool spreads from her throat through to her lungs. About 30% of the pain eases. Nova looks up slightly. The water has a healing effect? Not certain. Honestly, just got the ability. Haven't finished reading the manual. Nova studies my face for 3 seconds. Young. 17-year-old features, facial lines not yet fully past that boyish look. Clean as the school uniform that somehow has no dust on it. Unreal. Your name is Ash, Nova says. Yes. Earlier, using the water spark to blind the wolf's eye, you did that on purpose knowing I'd see it. I don't deny it. Why? Someone needs to be surprised, but that answer is too short. The weight of it silences Nova for several seconds. Then, in the distance, rotors. 6 military transport helicopters sweep in low from the northeast. Their searchlights slash across the broken walls of the abandoned steel mill. The cabin doors swing open. Soldiers in black tactical gear rappel down. The medical team hits the ground first. 2 medics sprint straight to Nova. They crack open their kits. Clean, practiced, no wasted motion. Another team rushes toward Rex. He's curled up beside the rail tracks, eyes vacant. The medic checks his wounds, shines a flashlight into his pupils, turns back and signals the squad leader. Psychological trauma, priority evacuation. The one surviving lackey is dragged out from behind the furnace. He's been curled up like a shrimp for too long. His limbs have locked up. The bodies of the other 3 lackeys are sealed into black bags. The on-site commander is a colonel. He walks toward me. I'm sitting on a makeshift steel platform, the rusted coin rolling across my fingers. At some point, the 12 ironhide rhinos have formed a quiet semicircle on their own. They've closed around me. Not as a trap, more like a guard. The colonel stops 3 meters out. All 12 rhinos turn their heads toward him at once. 24 tiny red eyes lock onto him. The colonel swallows. Ash, he says. I'm Colonel Hale, Eastern Command. General Stone sent me to pick you up. Pick me up? Where? Hale adds quickly. Not an interrogation. The general wants to have tea. I look at him for 2 seconds. Can I bring a few of the rhinos? Hale turns to look. 12 ironhide rhinos. 3 tons each. I'll need to check with command first. The panel flickers. A single quiet number ticks up. I pocket the coin. I stand up from the platform, inside the transport helicopter now. I lean against the cabin wall and start the performance, pulling in every trace of ability energy, shoulders slightly hunched, right index finger tapping the back of my left hand in a slow, steady rhythm. The picture of a rank F student whose ability went haywire from sheer terror. Across from me, Colonel Hale notices. He doesn't say anything. 14 minutes pass. The helicopter lands. I climb out gripping the door frame. My steps are just slightly unsteady. Someone is already waiting on the tarmac. A female lieutenant colonel who introduces herself as Major Voss. She leads me to General Stone. Not an interrogation room. An ordinary tea room. General Stone sits at the far end of the table. Thinner than you'd expect a general to be. Older. His back isn't perfectly straight. Gray eyes. Plain clothes, no rank insignia. He gestures to the chair across from him. I sit. He pours me a cup of tea, slides it over. I pick it up, take a small sip. Good tea, from home by the taste. General Stone holds his own cup. His gaze passes through the steam, resting on me. About 10 seconds of silence. Scared? A gentle opener. My hands tremble slightly. I set the cup down. A tier 3 lord. Not even triple S ranked fighters could have held that thing off. Surviving it all, that's no small thing. Nova told me that you unleashed something powerful when it mattered most. I keep my voice low and slow. I'm not really sure. When the blood rage ape came at me, my mind went blank and then it felt like something inside me cracked open. After that, I don't remember much. Can you still use it? Nothing. It's gone. Just the right amount of blankness and loss in my voice. Like it burned out. General Stone watches my hands for 3 seconds, then takes a sip. Don't worry. After an ability surge, there's always a dormant period. It's normal. I nod. We both know I'm performing. Neither of us says so. By the third cup, 2 knocks at the door. Aide Burke steps in. His expression is off. He moves to General Stone's side, leans down, says something quietly. The hand holding General Stone's cup goes still. Confirmed? Confirmed. Before our support arrived, the Lord Core was found with creature energy fragments. They had already penetrated deep inside. Vital signs, gone. Before support arrived, General Stone repeats slowly. Which means, during the fight, General Stone has seen the full combat footage. He thinks back. The moment the Blood Rage Ape's energy core was shattered, fragments scattering in every direction. Fragments. That golden rain of light had covered every inch of the core zone. In the chaos, some fragments had driven into Rex's skull, into vital points. Statistically, it holds up completely. Notify the family. Handle the arrangements. Burke turns and leaves. The door closes. The tea room holds 2 people again. General Stone glances at me. I'm holding the cup in both hands. A faint tremble in my fingers. Eyes fixed on the surface of the tea. The look of someone still processing a shock. General Stone doesn't ask a single question. He refills my cup. 20 minutes later, I'm sent to the medical room. Walking out of the tea room. At the corner of the hallway, Nova. She's changed into a clean military patient's gown. Thick bandages wrapped tight around her chest and back. Face paper white. But those ice blue eyes are sharp enough to cut. Sir, I stop. Has your ability recovered? What ability, sir? I'm rank F water spark. What happened before? That was probably just a stress response. Fear doing something weird. Right now I can't even squeeze out a single drop. Nova scans every line of my face. Young face. Expression innocent, confused, with just a trace of lingering fear. Convincing. If she hadn't watched me put down a tier 3 lord with one hand, she'd believe the stress response story. She turns the words over in her mouth. Rank F. Water spark. Because of fear, pulled a storm cloud down from the sky. Because of fear, unleashed tens of thousands of pressure streams and dissolved a tier 3 apex lord into particles of light. Nova stares at me. I look back. 5 seconds of silence. Nova speaks first. I'll hold on to your story for now. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out a card. Holds it out. Gold border all around. An 8-pointed star insignia on the front. This is my personal endorsement pass. With this, you skip the academy qualifiers. Enter the academy league as an independent. I take the card. Pocket it. Thanks. Nova turns and walks away. 3 steps. Then she stops. Doesn't look back. Rex is gone. I respond at exactly the right pace. Not too fast, not too slow. I heard General Stone mention it in the tea room. It was sudden. Nova stands still for 2 seconds, then keeps walking. I lean against the wall and pull the card back out. Hold it up to the fluorescent light. The Academy League. A stage that reaches more people, more resources, more shock point contributors. The panel glows quietly in the upper right of my vision. Current shock points balance, 13,740. Still climbing. Jin Estate, west of Jianzhou. The rosewood table at the center of the courtyard is 300 years old. Now it's half a table. Eldercross pulls back his right hand. Splinters are still spinning in the air. He's in his early 60s. Silver hair perfectly neat. 1 strike, 3 inches of solid rosewood split clean down the middle. His gaze locks onto the official military report in front of him. On white paper. In plain terms, 1 sentence, his son is gone. Cause of death, struck by energy fragments from a tier 3 Lord-class creature during combat. Died on the spot. Attached on-site photographs, assessment report. Signed by a top-tier military examiner. Eldercross's eyes stop on the name Ash for 5 full seconds. Rank F ability, water spark. during the assessment, triggered an ability surge from extreme stress, temporarily unleashed above rank power, assisted in repelling the creature. Elder Cross looks to the shadow on the left side of the hall. A middle-aged man steps half a pace forward from the darkness. Mr. Vale, second branch of the Jinn family, head of the Shadow Division. That plan was yours. Elder Cross doesn't make it a question. Mr. Vale's throat moves. The only possibility is that certain details in the military report raised your suspicion. The letter Rex was told to burn. Did he actually burn it? He doesn't know, because Rex is gone. Mr. Vale steadies his breathing. Brother, Rex was my nephew. I cared more than anyone. Enough! Elder Cross doesn't look at him. He looks toward the doorframe on the right side of the hall. Leaning there, a young man, 22 years old, white shirt, a 3-foot sword hanging at his hip. Edge, the top talent of the Jinn family's generation. Rank SSS ability. Golden Edge aura. Mid-tier 3. Father, the official account of Rex's death is internally consistent, but that's not what matters. What matters is the one who came back alive. Ash. Rank F, Unit 2, should have been in the first wave to go down. Instead, every other fighter in his unit was wiped out. He walked out just fine and rode the helicopter home. No matter how you look at it, something doesn't add up. Elder Cross settles back into his chair and looks at his son across the broken table. You mean the Academy League? This Wednesday, Edge taps the hilt of his sword. Every awakened student in Jianzhou will be in that pool. If Ash enters, you'll have him on the stage. Within the rules, you can ask a few questions on your brother's behalf. Edge gives a slight smile. Ask what? He's rank F. The moment he steps on that stage, I finish him in one move. There won't even be time to ask questions. Then one move it is. Edge's tone levels out. But we need that coin. Beside him, Mr. Vale goes rigid. Elder Cross looks at him. Brother, did you really think everything you and Rex were doing behind my back? I didn't know? Mr. Vale's back is soaked through. You wanted to keep it for yourself. Rex got pulled in with you. The job failed. And now he's gone. This ends here. Elder Cross reaches down through the broken table and retrieves the report. The coin goes through proper channels. Keep your Shadow Division in line. Mr. Vale says nothing. Edge rehooks his sword and walks out of the hall, through the corridor, up the stone steps. Night wind pours in from the mountain pass. It catches the hem of his white shirt. He stops, looks down at his sword. A rank F weakling. An ability surge from stress. That story works on ordinary people. But after a surge, you calmly cooperate with a full military examination and pass logical self-assessment. That kind of clarity doesn't come from a surge. That's a performance. He draws the blade 3 inches, slides it back. The sharp ring of metal carries far into the night wind. Clean. Cold. Colder than the wind itself. Monday, I'm back at Jianzhou First Academy. 2 things have changed since I left. Funeral wreaths at the entrance, and rumors about me. Did you hear? Ash took down a tier 3 creature in the assessment. No way. He's rank F water spark. What did he beat anything with? But he actually survived. 3 out of 4 rank B fighters didn't make it. And he's walking around just fine. Guess he got lucky. I cross the yard and catch every word of it. The panel tags each source. Every rumor spreads 1 to 3 shock points per person. I ignore it and head into the admin building. 3rd floor. Push open the office door. A meeting in progress. At the far desk, Principal Ward of Jianzhou First Academy. I walk up 2 steps and slap the registration form onto the nearest desk. Principal, Academy League registration form. Please stamp it. Principal Ward rises from behind the desk. He carries more presence on his feet. He walks over, picks up the form, reads it top to bottom. Rank F water spark. Another failure. He moves to set the form back down on the trash bin beside the desk. Do you understand what the Academy League means for this school? A rank F from the Fodder Unit enters, loses, and embarrasses us. Gets injured and it's even worse. And who pays your medical bills? The logic is sound. I'm not letting him finish. I reach into my uniform's inner pocket and pull out the card Nova gave me. Gold border, 8-pointed star insignia. Nova's personal endorsement pass. This bypasses the Academy qualifiers. Independent entry. The stamp doesn't affect the process, but going through the school looks better for Jianzhou First Academy. Principal Ward reaches out and takes the card. The moment his fingertips touch it, his small eyes snap open half a millimeter. A triple S ranked woman writing an endorsement for a rank F student. No matter how you read it, there's something behind it he can't afford to touch. He makes a very Principal Ward decision, hands the card back, picks up the form, pulls the official stamp from his drawer. Thump. I'll file it for you. A perfectly measured smile spreads across Principal Ward's face. Best of luck. That was fast. I pocket the card. A nod. Thank you, Principal. Turn and walk. The door closes behind me. In the hallway, the panel flickers. Detected. Principal Ward's humiliating capitulation. Shock points plus 45. Detected. 6 people in the admin office. Collective confusion. Shock points plus 83. Current shock points balance, 128. I walk out of the admin building, and at the entrance, someone is there. I know him. The panel recognizes him. Shock sense activates. 12 meters away. Target, Edge. Ability rank, SSS. Emotional state, calm. Observing. A young man in a white shirt stands at the base of the steps, sword at his hip. Our eyes meet briefly. Edge's gaze moves from my face to the registration form in my hand, then back. He says one thing, Ash, then he's gone. Long strides. I watch him leave. The panel is quiet. Edge's emotional state just now, calm observation, no contempt, no anger, zero shock points. A truly powerful person doesn't react to an ant. He only notices what's underfoot when he's about to step on it. I fold the receipt, tuck it into my pocket. I want to make this person feel something. Something big. 11 at night. Janjo scrapyard. I weave a thin water thread into a makeshift key and open the lock. What I'm looking for doesn't need to be refined. Doesn't even need to be a weapon. The Ascension System's description is clear. Fundamental purification of any object. Quality determined by the points invested and the target's base potential. Deep in the corner of the metal section, my hand touches something cold. 5 feet long, 1 inch wide, wet when I pull it free. Rusted all over. One end threaded, the other end welded into a flat spade shape. A drain cleaning rod. I weigh it in my hand. About 6 pounds. Center of gravity sits 3 inches toward the back. I give it a swing. Not bad. I shoulder it and keep browsing. From the electronics scrap section I dig out an alloy disc the size of a discus. From the construction rubble section I pick up a fist-sized chunk of black stone. 3 items. I lay them on the ground in a row and crouch down. I set the drain rod horizontally in front of me. Test run first. Spend shock points to ascend item. Drain cleaning rod. Scrapped. Base potential low. Low base potential means a lower output ceiling for the same investment. But I'm not after the best. I need something a rank C awakener could carry without raising an eyebrow. Too strong draws attention. Just right keeps you safe. I invest 2,000 points. The panel shifts. From 14,210 down to 12,210. The rust pulls inward, layer by layer, outer to inner, absorbed and broken down by something unseen. The pitted surface begins to fill in. The color shifts from rust red to a cool, deep blue-black. 3 seconds. Done. Lying on the ground. A 5-foot rod of blue-black metal. Surface smooth. Matte finish. The threaded end is gone. The spade end has become a 3-pronged fork. A trident. Ascension complete. Item name Tidecleave. Crude grade. Rank C+. Material Abyssal steel. 90% purity. Trait 1. Tide affinity. Hardness exceeds same rank weapons by 200%. Standard rank B weapons cannot damage it. A rank C+ weapon with above rank B defensive hardness. In the league, when rank B or even rank A fighters strike my weapon, they'll find it won't cut. Reasonable. Unremarkable. A hidden edge. I pick up Tidecleave and give it 2 swings. The air splits with a low resonant hum, like the trailing sound of water through a blade. The system is scanning the ascendable skill list. The panel loads a row. 1. Water Spark rank F. Ascension cost 500 points. 2. Pressure Stream. Triple S subskill. Ascension cost 8,000 points. 3. Wrath of the Sea God. Rain Control. Ascension cost 1,000 points. Wrath of the Sea God. Tide Beast Signal. Triple S subskill. Ascension cost 6,000 points. Triple S subskill Ascension costs several times more than items. My current available balance, 12,210 points. Enough for 1 core skill. Pressure Stream. The single most lethal attack I currently have. Rex was dissolved into nothing by this exact move. Ascend Pressure Stream. Cost 8,000. This time the change isn't on the outside. It's inside. The awakening core jolts hard. Energy pathways tear apart and rebuild. The process lasts about 7 seconds. Then everything goes still. Ascension complete. Skill name, Wrath of the Sea God, Pressure Stream. Wrath of the Sea God, Return Tide. Rank, Triple S+. Ascended stream count cap, 10,000 streams, up from 50,000. Maximum pressure per stream, 4,200 atmospheres up to 12,000 atmospheres. New trait, Return Tide. Streams don't disperse after cutting. They pull back automatically and form a defensive ring around the user. Offense and defense unified. Energy efficiency up. Same output, 40% lower consumption, 40% lower. That means a body that could only sustain full output for 2 minutes can now run for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And Return Tide means every strike I land adds another layer of shielding around me. The longer the fight, the thicker the defense. I plant Tidecleave upright in the ground and lean against a metal rack. I look down at my hand. Remaining balance, 4,210. Not much left. Spend carefully. The league opens this Wednesday. Janjo Arena. I enter through the athlete's corridor. Nova's card scans at the gate. As the reader processes it, the staff member beside the turnstile glances over at me. Ash. Registered ability rank F endorsement. The card you just scanned. Issued by Nova. The staff member types a few things into the internal system. Whatever comes up on screen makes his expression shift by exactly 1 beat. Go ahead. I enter the athlete waiting area. Room C17. I pull Tidecleave from the canvas bag on my back. Lean it against the wall. The blue-black shaft of the trident catches the light. A quiet gleam. Current shock points balance 4,580, up just over 300 in the past 5 days. The drip effect is still building, but the rate is slowing. Time for something new. Opening ceremony at 1 in the afternoon. I step out of the corridor. The giant screen is cycling through athlete profiles. When it cuts to mine, the crowd's cheering hits a very obvious gap. Athlete number 121, Ash, representing Jianzhou First Academy, registered ability rank F, ability name Waterspark. 28,000 people in the arena. At least 25,000 just saw that F. In the west standing section, a bald man with a voice like a foghorn stands up and shouts, "Rank F? A rank F on the stage. Whose connection got them in?" That line is a spark. The crowd ignites. Is this a mistake? Rank F can barely spit water. What's he going to do? It's rigged. Absolutely rigged. The panel goes wild in my vision. Shock points +3, +2, +5. Within seconds, over 20 ticks. Small amounts per person, but the volume is enormous. I keep my head down, walk into the athlete formation, and take my spot. My expression doesn't change, but the balance in the lower right of the panel jumps from 4,580 to 4,917. Over 300 points. 1 minute's entrance fee. The opening ceremony wraps up. The draw begins. The giant screen starts rolling through matchups. Group 37. Athlete R21, Ash, rank F, Waterspark, versus Athlete B078, Stone, rank B, Iron Skin. The crowd splits into two camps. Isn't that just a free win? It's a random draw. Rank F versus rank B. You sure this isn't intentional? In the very important person section, Edge studies the matchup on screen. He taps the hilt of his sword twice. "Stone," he says to his attendant. The attendant nods. The academy crowd runs hot. No sense of restraint. No limits when they swing. What group am I in? 51. Your opponent is a rank C from Cloud Mountain Academy. Doesn't matter. His gaze moves from the screen to the athlete formation, to the figure in the gray-blue uniform. When Stone wins, I get him in the next round. The attendant spreads out the elimination bracket. Groups 37 and 51 converge in round 2. Edge gives a quiet sound of acknowledgement. He doesn't say what happens if Stone loses, because like nearly everyone else in this arena, he hasn't entertained that possibility. Rank F versus rank B, no if. The preliminary rounds run in order. I'm in group 37, 36 matches ahead of mine. About 2.5 hours. I find a chair in the athlete rest area and sit. Tide cleave rests across my knees. I close my eyes. The crowd's roar rolls in wave after wave. 2.5 hours later. Group 37. Athletes to the stage. I walk up carrying Tide Cleave. Stone is already on the other side, warming up. Both arms in Iron Skin pre-activation. A dull gray metallic sheen spreading across his skin. The size difference is hard to look at. 6'4", 220 pounds. Me, 5'9", 130 pounds, gray-blue school uniform, holding a trident half a head shorter than I am. 3 seconds. Done in 3. Someone in the crowd heckles. The judges run through the standard rules. Stone cracks his knuckles. The iron-on-iron thud is heavy and flat. "Kid, you're Ash, right?" "Yeah, I'm straightforward. Let me say this up front. On this stage I don't hold back. But I'll control the force. Worst case, some broken bones. 2 months to heal. Don't worry. Big guy. The broken bones you're describing. Yours or mine?" Stone's expression goes blank for a moment. Then he laughs. "You've got nerve. First rank F who's ever talked tough to me. Tell you what, if you can take one punch, I'll buy you dinner." I nod. "Noted. I eat a lot." Before the head judge steps back, I speak up. Not loud, but the mic system picks it up clean. "Just a quick note, the crowd noise drops half a level. My registered rank is F, ability listed as Waterspark. That's accurate. But after real combat a month ago, my ability mutated. The military has it on record. The school's file just hasn't caught up yet." I flip Tide Cleave and plant the tip into the stage floor. "My actual current rank is C, ability water control." 1 second of silence. Then the crowd explodes. Rank C, jumped from F to C, a mutation that skips that many ranks. You're joking. The academic world has never seen a case like this. Rank C water control. It's real. A real step up from rank F. But compared to Stone's rank B Iron Skin, still 1 tier short. Doesn't change the outcome. Edge says nothing. He's not analyzing the rank numbers. He's analyzing why I'm revealing this information right now. If someone genuinely only has rank C, facing Stone's rank B, the optimal move is to say nothing and fight. Showing your cards before the match serves no purpose. Unless what he's revealing isn't his real hand, it's the second layer. Group 37 begins. Stone's first step makes the stage shudder. 220 pounds wrapped in Iron Skin's gray glow, the pressure of a truck bearing down. 12 meters out, covered in 0.8 seconds. His right fist starts loading power 2 meters from my chest. The metallic sheen across his arms shifts from dark gray to bright silver. 2 meters. 1.5. 1. I lift my right index finger. The moisture in the air is stripped and compressed in an instant. A water whip, thumb thick, roughly 13 feet long, goes from nothing to fully formed in 0.3 seconds. Stone's fist is half a meter from my face. The whip snaps out. No crack at first. The sound arrives 0.1 seconds after impact. Because the whip moves faster than sound. Contact point, dead center of Stone's chest. Not a wide strike, a precise one. Stone's forward momentum reverses the instant of contact. 220 pounds folds direction on the spot and flies backward, fast, faster than he charged in. The barrier at the edge of the stage lights up, like a massive elastic net catching him. Stone's back slides down the barrier. knees hit the stage, both hands press against the floor, mouth open, like a fish pulled out of water. 1, 2, 3. Stone grits his teeth. Right knee lifts off the ground. He's getting up. But before his knee fully straightens, something small appears in front of his face. A single water droplet, suspended 1 inch from the center of his forehead, perfectly still. Stone freezes. He stares at it. Then he hears my voice. Stone, about that dinner you promised. I want somewhere expensive. Stone stares at the droplet for 1 full second. Then he lets himself fall backward. The back of his head hits the floor with a dull thud. He's not out. He chose to go down. Athlete down for more than 5 seconds. Athlete number 2, Stone. The head judge raises the flag. The arena goes silent. 28,000 people. And in that moment, you can hear the wind through the gaps in the dome. From Stone's first step to the moment he flew backward. 11.8 seconds. The silence holds for 3 seconds. Then the sound comes back. Not cheering, more like a recording that got force paused and slammed back into play. Twice as loud as before. He said rank C, and rank C just sent a rank B flying with 1 whip. That whip, the speed was wrong. That was insane. The panel goes wild in my vision. Numbers flooding in. Within 3 seconds, from 4,917 to a current shock points balance of 7,841. Nearly 3,000 from 1 move. Still climbing. I pull my fingers in, bend down and pick up tide cleave. Walk down from the stage. I pass Stone. Still flat on the ground. He's just lying there. Stone rolls his eyes toward me. You came down early. You could have stood up. Stone is quiet for 2 seconds. Obviously, still that same volume. You had a droplet sitting 1 inch from my face. I'm not stupid. Take a second hit or stay down. Easy choice. He grins. But dinner's still happening. A deal's a deal. Your pick. I hoist tide cleave back onto my shoulder and walk toward the athlete area. Passing under the very important person section, I don't look up. Target, edge, emotional shift detected, shock points +3, 3 points, up from 0 to 3, edge just registered an emotional response, low level, just interest, but the horse has been noticed. That same night on Jianzhou's online platforms, 6 of the top 10 trending topics are league-related. 3 of those 6 are about me. Rank F beats rank B. What rank is Ash actually? The most read post is from the Jianzhou Awakener forum, posted by user Abyss Spectator, title, Objective Breakdown, the real ceiling of Ash's rank C water control in his first fight. Core argument, Ash's displayed strength is fully explainable as somewhere between rank C plus and rank B. It's not that Ash is particularly strong, but that Stone's defense had obvious gaps. Well-written analysis. I'm sitting on my dorm bed scrolling through my phone. The comment section is shifting. Waves of comments, nearly identical in format and wording, flood in within minutes. He's just rank C water control. Stone was off his game. That line appears 17 times. Against a real rank A talent, this guy will show his true colors. 13 times. Don't forget he came from the Fodder Unit. No way he wins a real fight. Stone went easy on him. 9 times. Bot farm. Industrial scale. I put my phone down and smile. The Jin family's play isn't big, but the timing is sharp. Flood the narrative with negatives during peak hype after the first fight. Goal. Control the story. Pull rank F, 1 shots rank B, 2 explosive A headline. Back down to rank C, barely beats a careless rank B. Safe territory. Why bother? Lower public expectations for me. The lower the expectations, the smaller the impact when I exceed them, and smaller impact means fewer shock points. Current total balance, 16,440. Nearly quadrupled in 1 day. If I don't do something, I'm wasting the Jin family's investment. I pick my phone back up and open a private account, registered about half a year ago. Never posted. 0 followers. Clean. Username, Old Guard East. I post a 30-second video. Bare bones production. Front camera pointed at my face. Dorm fluorescent light overhead. Light is harsh and flat. I speak to the lens. Hey everyone, I'm Ash. Won my first league match today, against Stone. Online they're saying I'm only rank C, and that Stone lost because he underestimated me. That's fair. I nod. Stone did charge straight at me. These breakdowns aren't wrong, but I want to respond to one question. Someone asked, what do I do if I face a rank A or triple S opponent? I look down at my right hand, index finger raised to the camera. I don't know. A month ago I was still rank F water spark. Now I've mutated to rank C water control. Where this ability can go from here, I honestly don't know. Then I tilt my head slightly. Just a small angle. But to whoever I'm facing in round 2, if you're watching this, I'm talking to you. Watch yourself. Video ends. I post it. 3 hours later. 1.42 million views. Algorithms don't understand human emotion, but they understand data. The comments look nothing like the forum. Top liked. I don't know why, but when this guy says he doesn't know, I actually feel like he knows everything. Did anyone catch that look at the end? I've rewatched it 3 times. Can't describe it. It's just very quiet. Quiet in a way that isn't normal. Can the bots calling him rank C please get a new script? They've posted the exact same line a dozen times. Embarrassing. The bot posts are buried. I lie on my dorm bed staring at the ceiling. Phone tossed to the side. Panel glowing in the upper right of my vision. Total balance, 19,870. That number has climbed over 3,400 in the past 3 hours. 1.4 million views. Even if only 1 in 10 viewers registers a real reaction, it adds up. Still climbing. Round 2 matchups post tomorrow. Win 2 more, and round 3 means facing Edge. 3 days between matches. What can 3 days buy me? First, push Tidecleave up 1 tier from rank C+. Second, I close my eyes. The awakening core hums quietly inside me. One move alone won't carry everything. I need a second card. The skill ascension list on the panel. Still there. Option 4, Wrath of the Sea God, Tide Beast Taming, Triple S plus sub-skill, Ascension cost, 6,000 points, 12 Ironhide Rhinos still waiting in the military compound. The semi-final rules are announced with a flair for the dramatic. The morning after all preliminary rounds finish, the head judge takes the stage in person to read from a sealed envelope. Red wax seal. One detail catches my eye. The wax pattern is uneven, like it was opened and resealed. After review by the organizing committee, the semi-final stage will use survival mode. 64 athletes advancing from the preliminary rounds will be split into 2 groups. Group A with 32, Group B with 32. Each group will be deployed into a simulated ecosystem. Time limit, 2 hours. Each athlete begins with 3 survival badges. When knocked out or surrendering, you hand 1 badge to the winner. At the 2-hour mark, the top 16 badge holders in each group advance. The rules themselves are fine. The issue is the groupings. The screen starts rolling through names. Group A names appear one by one. 32 athletes, 31 with ties to the Jin family. The 32nd is me. The athlete section starts buzzing. This grouping, why is it all Jin family? Look at number 7 in that group. Isn't that the head judge's nephew? In the VIP section, Edge takes in the groupings. Satisfied, but the satisfaction is flat. Too flat to produce a single shock point, because he expected exactly this. Current total shock points balance, 22,150. I glance down at Tidecleave's tip. Then I smile, purely because something is genuinely funny. 31 people coming for 1. And they still felt that wasn't enough. The Jin family apparently thought the optics were bad, so they pulled the rank B fighters out themselves. The entrance to the simulated battlefield is a metal corridor about 10 feet in diameter. It branches into 32 individual transfer tunnels, supposedly random. But I notice my tunnel's inner energy guide rails have been manually recalibrated. That means my drop point is not random. The committee has already picked my landing, somewhere in the center, easy to surround. I step into the tunnel. Transfer activates. The light shifts. I'm standing in a forest clearing, roughly 100 feet across, surrounded by tall projected broadleaf trees, dead center of the field exactly as expected. Group a survival mode countdown. 3, 2, 1, begin. I do the opposite of everything a normal strategy would suggest. I plant Tidecleave into the soil at the center of the clearing. Then I take off my school jacket. I reach into my pants pocket and pull out a sealed bag. 3 pieces of marinated jerky inside. I wrap each piece in foil and start gathering dry branches in the clearing. To light the fire, I use water. Specifically, I force water molecules in the air into rapid collision, concentrate the friction heat to a single point. 30 seconds later, a thread of thick smoke rises from the clearing, drawing a straight vertical column of gray-white across the sky above the 200,000 square foot simulated field, visible from every corner of the map. The crowd reacts immediately, a ripple of noise. What is he doing? Starting a fire. He's starting a fire. The match just began. 31 people are coming for him, and he's grilling meat in the middle of the clearing. The holographic screen cuts to a close-up. There I am, crouched beside the fire, propping the foil-wrapped jerky over the flames with full concentration. Firelight on my face. Expression. Grilling meat. The commentary desk erupts. Folks, am I seeing this right? Athlete 121, Ash. Within the first minute of survival mode, he chose to light a fire in the center of the field. Partner, break this down for me. Is this some advanced tactic I'm not familiar with? I can't break it down. 12 years in this business, first time I've ever seen someone cook during a league survival match. The panel starts jumping in my vision, numbers ticking fast. But I have no time to watch. I'm listening. Sound comes from 4 directions through the forest. Closing in. Nearest group, northeast, about 400 feet out. 3 people. Southwest, 5 people moving fast, eager to take first blood. North, 7 people. Most careful movement, likely the main strike team. And scattered footsteps approaching from other directions. 26 people heading my way. I check the foil. Jerky's not done yet. I raise my head and speak toward the tree line around the clearing. All right, stop crouching. The footsteps in the forest stop. On your way over, check if there's any dry wood nearby. Humidity's low here. Fire's struggling. 3 seconds of silence. Then from the southwest tree line, an irritated voice. What is going on? 5 people charge out from that direction. Leading them, a rank D fire-type awakener, flames already wrapped around both hands. Ash, drop the act. His voice runs hotter than his fire. He doesn't finish, because he smells it. The wind is blowing from my direction. Soy sauce, black pepper, just a hint of garlic underneath. The fire-type's flames shrink half a foot. I'm doing it on purpose. I'm distracted. I crouch beside the fire, use a stick to fish out a finished piece of jerky, blow on it, take a bite, chew twice. Not bad. A bit salty. I pull the other 2 packs off the fire. Want some? The 5 of them exchange glances. He's inviting us to eat. Don't fall for it. It's mind games. But it smells really good. In the VIP box, Edge's wine glass doesn't move. For the first time, he stares at the figure on screen crouching by the fire, chewing jerky. His attendant leans in quietly. Should we tell them to move in now? Edge doesn't answer. He's asking himself one question. What exactly am I doing? Someone about to be swarmed by 30+ people chooses to expose their position and draw every enemy in. That behavior only has 2 explanations. Either stupid, or confident enough to take them all on at once. Edge's right hand rests on the scabbard for 1 second. Or, he wants everyone in one place, so he only has to fight once. The first wave hits just as I swallow my 3rd bite of jerky. The 5 from the southwest move first. A fireball the size of a bowl fires straight from 30 meters out. At the same time, the northeast trio arrives. A row of knee-high earth spikes surge up from the ground and push toward the center. The north group's plant vines drop down from the canopy above. Fireball, vines, earth spikes, 2 metal blades, 5 types of attacks. I stand up fast, but I don't dodge. I clamp the half-eaten jerky between my teeth, grab my jacket off the ground with both hands, bundle the other 2 foil packs inside it, and toss the whole thing behind a dead tree stump 5 meters away. Then I pull Tidecleave free. The fireball arrives. Less than 2 meters out. I raise my right hand, not one finger, my whole palm. No water whip this time. Within 30 meters above the clearing, every water molecule is mobilized in 0.2 seconds, spread into a transparent sheet barely thicker than a sheet of paper. The fireball hits the water membrane. No explosion. The membrane flash vaporizes on contact, and the expansion force bends the fireball's path. It grazes my left shoulder and slams into a stump behind me. Earth spikes reach my feet. I step left, past the first row, drop my body 30 centimeters. Second row of spikes scrape past overhead. Right foot pulls back half a step. Third row breaks ground 2 centimeters in front of my toes. That precision doesn't come from sight. It comes from the soles of my feet. Water type ability has one application almost no one thinks about. It builds a real-time heat map of everything moving beneath the ground. Every step lands in the safe gap between spikes. The plant vines drop from above. Tidecleave sweeps in an arc. The prongs don't cut the vine. They hook it. 1 meter outward, perpendicular to the growth direction. Applying torque, like wringing a towel. The fiber structure collapses. The vine snaps clean. From the first fireball landing to the vine snapping, 4 seconds total. I haven't moved from my spot. Total ground covered under 2 meters. The jerky is still in my mouth. The arena goes quiet. The commentator's voice returns, but barely. He didn't strike back once. 3 completely different attacks handled 3 different ways, all in 4 seconds. That is not rank C reaction speed. The panel floods my vision. Shock points plus 45, plus 22, plus 61. The big numbers are coming in, but I can't watch. The second wave is here. The north group of 7 charges out. 2 metal type fighters up front as shields. 3 ranged attackers in the middle. 2 support types in the back. Simultaneously, the remaining 16 pour in from every other direction. 28 people close in from all sides. 28 fire at once. Fireballs, wind blades, earth spikes, metal blades, vines, ice shards, at least 7 ability types, hitting from every angle at full coverage density, enough to briefly overload the holographic rendering system. The commentator's voice cracks. 28 simultaneous shots, full coverage on Ash. His next word catches in his throat. Because I'm gone. 28 attacks converge on the center of the clearing. The energy-dampening alloy floor tears open. A cloud of smoke and debris fills a 20-foot radius. No one inside. Just a charred gray-blue school jacket, the one I threw back from behind the stump a second before they opened fire. Misdirection. Someone in the crowd screams. Someone groans. Someone doubles over laughing. The panel is rolling at a speed I've never seen. Shock points plus 88, plus 77, plus 156. No time to watch. My voice drops from above. 25 feet up. I'm standing on a dead crossbeam, part of the simulated field's dome framework. Tidecleave rests across my shoulder. I look down at the 28 in the crater below. Firelight rises from below and catches my face. I speak. Same tone you'd use to review a group project. Your coordination is off. 28 people targeting 1 point, and 12 of those shots missed. The farthest one went 30 feet wide. I look toward the fire-type fighter. Go practice fixed targets from 100 feet out. Your spread is over 6 feet. You wouldn't even pass a basic throwing event. The crowd makes a sound that has no good name. Not laughter, not a yell. More like the noise that gets squeezed out of you when someone grabs your head and forces you to watch a piece of performance art. Some combination of absurdity and adrenaline coming out as a raw hoarse roar. The betting odds had already collapsed 30 seconds ago. The bookmaker's system throwing errors. In the VIP box, Edge's wine glass is frozen at his lips. The wine doesn't move. His attendant speaks without waiting for a cue, for the first time ever. Should we? Quiet. Edge stares at the figure on screen standing on the beam. Emotional shift detected in Edge. Type, scrutiny, and alertness. brightness, intensity medium-high, up from 3 to 18. The ant just got a tiger's attention. My gaze sweeps across the 28 below, then settles on the one standing in the back row, hands in pockets. Hasn't moved once. A rank C fighter. That person is looking back. Expression, calm. We hold eye contact across a 25-foot height gap for about 1 second. I lower Tidecleave from my shoulder. Tip down, planted into the metal surface of the beam. This survival match's first round is over. 28 shots. 0 hits. I haven't even finished my jerky. 4 minutes into the match. 2 packs left. Then the broadcast cuts in. Not the head judge. An emergency channel. A middle-aged man's voice, kept deliberately low, carrying the kind of authority that doesn't ask to be questioned. It doesn't ask. It states. It fills the entire arena through every speaker under the dome. Group of survival mode. Suspended immediately. Athlete 121 Ash, report to the control room at once. I brush the debris off my hands. Tidecleave goes back on my shoulder. Passing the very important persons section. For the first time I look up. Straight into Edge's eyes. Sharp as a hawk's. Somewhere along the way his wine glass has been crushed in his grip. Deep red liquid drips between his fingers. Not just anger or fear. Something higher than that. The instinctive wariness of a predator whose territory has just been entered by something it doesn't fully understand. I smile at him, just loud enough for 2 people. Looks like your sword won't be getting any airtime. The words land, and the panel pops a new alert. Emotional shift detected in Edge. Type, killing intent, extreme. Shock points plus 500. I stop looking at him. Turn toward the control room. Killing intent from a S talent. That's worth more than every fighter out there combined. I push open the heavy control room door. I expected General Stone, maybe someone even higher. But the room holds only one person. An old man in a faded work uniform, wiping down a display screen with a cloth. He turns around. Unremarkable face. But those eyes, like something ancient has settled inside them. Like seawater that has been still for 10,000 years. Kid, that coin, the one your parents left you, can I see it? My steps stop, for the first time. Heart rate still steady at 62 beats per minute, but the ability energy inside me starts moving on its own. Something I never felt even facing the blood rage ape. I hold the old man's gaze. Silence for a few seconds. Then I reach into my pocket and pull out the rusted coin. Roll it across my fingers. Beneath the rust, that blue light, the one that has no earthly origin, flickers for the first time on its own, bright and deliberate, under the old man's gaze. And after you see it, the old man smiles, doesn't answer. Instead he looks past me, toward the closed door behind me, as if he can see straight through it to the entire world beyond. After I see it, perhaps we can finally talk about what lies above myth.